This is Morning at NTV and my name is Romeo Busiku. Let's get into our TechNote conversation. By 2050, Sub-Saharan Africa will have a third of the world's young population, yet the continent is much of the region is yet to draft a concrete industrial policy. But with the ongoing debate about the new secondary school curriculum that makes agriculture an optional subject, is this the perfect window to adopt? That is the $64,000 question we are asking. Manufacturing and industrial-related disciplines early in high school. Patrick Biakatonda, from the Directorate of Industrial Training, joins me right about now. Very good morning.
Good morning.
Now, I was looking at the curriculum. You've made agriculture optional. Keep in mind, agriculture is the backbone of this country. Don't you think that was a don't you think that you were misled on that?
Thank you very much. Good morning, viewers. What I can say, agriculture has been optional in the old curriculum, but agriculture is a vocation. So here, curriculum was a consultation because the National Curriculum Development Center worked with the DIT, but also worked with the universities. Now, we have sciences. The sciences are categorized into, we have biological sciences and we have physical sciences. You cannot go for medicine if you have not done biology. You cannot go for nursing if you have not done biology. And if you have not actually even passing it. Then you have for engineering courses of engineering, physics is what is essential. Now, agriculture as a vocational subject is optional. But agriculture, the additional one, is that it used not to be assessed as an occupation. Because the curriculum which we are bringing is an employer-led curriculum. The curriculum which will equip a secondary school graduate with the skills which can compete in the job market. Now, if it is a vocational, DIT we shall be assessing at the senior 3. That one means it gives somebody to take it as an option, to choose it, because there is an assessment. And our assessment, we are not going to assess you as agriculture. We are just going to assess occupations. If you take agriculture, what is the occupation which you are going to get? You can be a livestock farmer. Then we assess you for livestock farmer. A beekeeper, we assess you in that line. In your line, a dairy farmer, a horticulture farmer, name it. Because the period from senior 1 up to senior 3 is not so big. You know, agriculture is wide. Animal husbandry and crop production, it is very big. However, we shall be choosing what? Occupation. Now, from that occupation, if you have level 1, you can now continue in the other wing. You go to level 2, you go to level 3, you take that wing. Alternatively, still, as you finish senior 4, you have 2 certificates if you have done agriculture. You have one for occupations, then if you finish senior 4, you will get also another certificate which also includes what? Agriculture. In our sense, we are preparing people who are not just peasant farmers, but the actual farmers.
The actual farmers, according to the experts, they believe that we should start teaching these young children at a very, very young age, from kindergarten, primary. You just have to deal with the issues of finding out what the child wants in the future, they want to do, and then expound on that skill so that by the time they reach senior 3, you have an expert. But if you're going to start from senior 3 to do the practical, senior 1 to 3 and senior 3, they believe that's little time for vocational training. They believe we should start from a lower age. What do you think about that in your assessment?
Thank you very much. Agriculture starts from when you see the science at primary level, the integrated science.
Not only even agriculture, it could be anything, an artistic vision of the child. You notice that your child, while growing up, is interested in a certain skill. So experts believe we should start expounding on those skills so that when they reach a certain age, they are good to go.
I think I agree with you. And that's why agriculture is optional. You don't force any person. It is a core, a vocation, a core. Now from there, then if you want to take it, you start from senior 1 up to senior 4. But remember, you had from home, you practice agriculture. Therefore, there is some learning from home.
In the rural areas, urban centers?
In the rural. In the urban centers, it depends.
Very, very much.
Because if they are entrepreneurs, I can say, in urban centers, you can take agriculture as an entrepreneur. Because there is also urban farming. You have seen harvest the money. Some people have gardens. In a show, there is a greenhouse. Greenhouse can be made in a small area.
Well, experts believe making agriculture would actually beat food insecurity in the region, but then you're saying you do not want to force the subjects on the students. But then when I look at some of the compulsory subjects at senior 4, lower secondary level new curriculum, you have history and political education made compulsory. What was the rationale behind that, knowing that when the students especially are being taught in the history classes, they'll be taught and told that agriculture is the backbone of this country, yet it's optional. But why make history and political education a must? What was the rationale?
If you remove history, if you see the compulsory subject, we have English, we have mathematics, there is physics, there is chemistry, there is biology, then there is geography and history and political work. Now, if you remove
and
history,
education used to be very optional, even geography, but now they are compulsory. What was the rationale?
If you remove history and political education and maybe put the agriculture, then when you reach HSC, there are those who want to take combinations, arts combinations, history, economics, geography, history, economics, CRIE. So you will have affected the combination. That's why the history and political education comes optional in senior 3 and senior 4.
So let's talk about non-formal education, the people who did not go to school at all. What is the Directorate of Industrial Training doing to help those people actually be kept in the fold?
Thank you very much.
Employment.
The non-formal one.
Can I give you an example? Yes, we have the artisans in Katwe, very, very skilled people. You know them in Katwe there. They're electricians, they're metal fabricators. They never went to school, but they have that on-job training. As DIT, what are you doing to help them, maybe with some kind of certification? What is the criteria?
DIT will conduct assessment for both formal, non-formal, and informal. We assess them and we give them the certificate of competency.
So let's focus
now,
on the non-formal
our people
education for now.
The ones of Katwe, we have 2 packages. There is non-formal, but there is also what we call the workers' pass.
Yes.
The workers' pass, that is, it is called workers practically acquired skills. In other words, this person acquired skills. He does not need to go back to study, to school. So what we do, we assess him. We just give them orientation towards the assessment and we give them what we call a worker's pass.
How long would that take?
This one is because somebody has been working for 10 years, for instance. Now, you just orient him towards the assessment for 1 week, you assess and you certify him. And then when he has, the worker's pass has levels also. There is level 1 and also level 2. Now, if he has level 1, then he can also join the formal system. Even from level 2, he can cross and join the formal system if he wants. Or he continues in the non-formal, but with levels. At level 3, they are master craftsmen.
So those are the ones who are working, but then the non-formal people who did not get that education from the formal universities, what are you doing for them?
Those ones who are not working, we call them the apprenticeship scheme. They come and they start running from the what? From the garages or from where. Those ones, we just guide the training using our assessment. We call them ATP, assessment and training packages. Then after training, we go and conduct the assessment. But those ones, we don't give them a workers pass. For them, we give them a certificate.
What does it take for a vocational institute to be accredited by DIT?
As long as you have the required equipment, then you apply to DIT. We come and inspect, and then we give you an assessment center. DIT can accredit both the training institution, it can also accredit a company.
Wow. Right about now, technology is in the sphere, and the conversation is how best we can use technology to improve on vocational training in these institutes. So in your assessment, do you think these vocational institutions are ready to take on the use of technology, given the fact that they grapple with so many issues like underfunding to do the same?
Okay, for the Ugandan case at least.
Yes, the technological advancement. Do you think vocational training institutions are ready for that?
Yeah, they are ready. I can give you an example. It is Ntinda Vocational, which project I was the project coordinator of that institution. The institution was constructed, was equipped by the Koreans. The instructors were taken for orientation and training so they can handle any technological changes. However, technology keeps on changing, so we need to keep on training all our instructors, the assessors, to continuously such that they match the new technologies.
And in your assessment, do you think the new lower secondary curriculum is at par with what is needed in the employment sector?
Yeah, the theme for the new secondary curriculum is to produce a secondary graduate with competitive skills at the job market. Now, if a person who is produced does not have those competitive skills, then he will not match the job market. What I can say, at least the new curriculum has removed some duplication, creating more time for innovation, for creativity, and for information and for technology.
I understand even graduates that have just left Makerere University can also come to DIT for assessment. What are the benefits of getting that as assessment after getting that assessment, even though I have my degree?
The benefit one, you can have a degree when you don't have a level of competency.
Yes. So why is it so important to get that certification?
The importance of our certification is to guide the employer that the person you are getting is at level 1. If he is at level 1, that means he can work under maximum supervision. Under level 2, he can work under minimum supervision. At level 3, he can be a supervisor. Now, somebody from Katwa at level 3, he can be a supervisor. Then when you bring the one from university and he does not match, that means he has to work under supervision of somebody from what? From Katwe. Now, when he attains level 3, then he also becomes a supervisor.
Sambia Katonda, many thanks for having made the time to speak to us.
You're welcome.
Right about now, we are heading to Wankulukuku to speak to our reporter, Stephen